What is going on, guys and gals? Brooklyn Bound the Raid Scientist here, and today we got all the new exotics from Season of the Splicer. And we're going to break down how you get them and are they any good? And I'll tell you what, you're going to be surprised with some of the results here. Seriously, I think Bungie delivered some decent ones this time. As always, folks, we're trying to grow this channel on the daily. We can't do that without your help. If you enjoyed the video, hit that red subscribe button. Drop a comment, be a badass, I'd appreciate it. Let's go. To start off, if you're new to how the seasonal exotics are acquired or the exotics are farmed in general, let me break that down quickly. Skip ahead to the timestamp here if you want to just get to the reviews. So, Bungie reintroduced Legendary and Master Lost Sectors when Beyond Light dropped, and these Lost Sectors contain much harder enemies and champions. This season, the Legendary is 1310 and the Master is 1340. These Lost Sectors rotate daily, and the rewards rotate daily as well. So you need to keep an eye out for the right combination of what you're looking for. Power level versus armor slot. Season of the Splicer brought new leg exotic armor for each class. So if you're looking out for those exotics, make sure you look for the Lost Sectors that reward exotic leg armor if solo. Meaning you have to solo these Lost Sectors to get the rewards. Yesterday was leg day, and I didn't do my squats, but I did get these Lost Sectors run, and they were in the 1310, which is the easiest option, so we went in and farmed. It took me 16 runs to get the new exotic legs on my Warlock, 5 runs on my Hunter, and 3 runs on my Titan. So know that it isn't guaranteed. You're also, if you're new to these Lost Sectors, you know that you do get limited revives, and those revives increase by 1 as you kill champions. You also only get 15 minutes until your ability to revive yourself goes away, which at level is really plenty of time. Finally, if you don't see the Legendary or Master version of the Lost Sector on your Director map, it's because you haven't cleared it on the normal mode version on that character. So, go run that Lost Sector once and clear it, and then the Legendary or Master version will appear and can be instanced via the flag at the start. So, let's get into why most of you are here. How do these new exotics perform? Let's start off with the Warlocks first, because obviously, Warlocks are the best, right? We may suck at Guardian games, but you know, we provide heals for everyone. And who doesn't love a good heal? The new exotic boots are Boots of the Assembler, and the perk reads that standing in a healing rift creates noble seekers that seek out allies that are not in a rift and heal them. Standing in an empowering rift creates noble seekers that grant both you and your ally a bonus damage. Each time a noble seeker finds one of your allies, the duration of your rift is briefly extended while you are standing in it. So, I did some testing on this. Firstly was the distance. Using Darcy, we were able to determine that the maximum distance that these seekers will assist is about 25 meters, which is about the distance you see here on the screen. So, this could be a great exotic for things like Nightfalls and even raids to drop down and help your nearby teammates. We also noted that the seekers fire every 5 to 6 seconds or so, and they extend your rift by exactly 5 seconds. So if you stay in your rift and the seekers are continuously finding targets, your rift will last for an extremely long time, because the timer will constantly keep getting extended. In addition, this also works on the Well of Radiance as well. It will send out empowering seekers that increase the teammates' damage. But unfortunately, it does not extend the timer of Well of Radiance. That would just be ridiculous. Only the healing and the empowering rifts. So, ultimately, this one's pretty good. If you run an empowering rift in PvP, you and your allies can get the damage increase without having to stay put in the rift, and this could be especially good in something like comp or 3v3 elimination or trials. Next up is the Titan Boots, the Path of the Burning Steps, which read, Solar Final Blows periodically grant you an escalating bonus to weapon damage. You are harder to slow or freeze with stasis. When you break out, you take no damage from doing so, creating a burst of solar energy around. Lots to cover here. First, I really think this is targeted towards the PvP community to counter this stasis subclass, but also has some value in PvE as well. And its exotic is pretty nutty, to be honest. First and foremost, the damage buff from Firewalker. So when you get solar final blows, which includes weapons, grenades, super, whatever, as long as it's solar, you have a chance to get the Firewalker buff, which lasts for 10 seconds. This gives you a 20% buff to damage. And that will increase by 5% for a max of up to 35% with 4 stacks. I tested it here in this lost sector to show that 4 stacks and 35% increase was the max. So just running around getting kills with a solar weapon and stacking this buff will give you the damage buff. Note it does not stack with Rampage or Kill Clip, but keep in mind, if you're running a weapon loadout that doesn't have those perks, you're basically getting a buffed version of Rampage without having it on your weapon. Because recall, Rampage gives you 10%, and then 20% I believe, and then up to 33%, where Firewalker gives you 20 up to 35%. Now the other half of this exotic is really important, especially for PvP, and it's the benefits against stasis. First, against things like a Duskfield grenade or a shuriken, the second you become slowed, you will get Firewalker ×1. Recall this 20% increase in damage. This will make you very lethal if you're using something like a precision frame shotgun or a sniper rifle, as depending on your target's resilience, you could one-shot body them with enough stacks. Secondly, and what's huge, is that the slow effect stacks about half as fast, and you don't take any damage from being frozen. So this is really great against stasis subclass in PvP. Finally, I was curious because the way this exotic read, it didn't sound like you needed to actually run a solar subclass. So I switched to Behemoth Titan, and nonetheless, you can actually get all of these perks as a stasis Titan, which is kind of shocking, but it is what it is. This might kind of make the whole stasis PvP situation a little worse in my opinion, because now the Hunters and Warlock stasis powers are a little weaker against the Titans who are using these exotics. But ultimately, we'll see how they're handled in the future. I would definitely recommend playing with these now. Finally, the Hunter has the new exotic Pants of Zora from The Legend of Zelda, aka Fashion Police Nightmare, aka Star Eater Scales. They read Feast of Light. You gain additional super energy from picking up orbs of power. While your super energy is full, picking up an orb of power overcharges your super, causing you to gain a burst of healing when cast and a bonus of super damage. At maximum overcharge, you also gain an overshield. Lots to cover here as well. So first, picking up orbs of light. It's pretty hard to calculate, obviously, because you just have the super bar, but you can definitely tell picking up orbs of light will give you more energy than not having the exotic on. This is obviously going to make charging your super faster than normal in both PvP and PvE. Now secondly, the second part of this exotic is that while your super is charged, you gain Feast of Light stacks every time you pick up an orb, maxing up to Feast of Light ×4. Note that Feast of Light has no timer, so you can keep it indefinitely, which is very important because it makes this exotic very useful against bosses. Feast of Light boosts your super significantly. I tested this on Golden Gun Bottom Tree, and you'll see here that without Feast of Light, I'm doing roughly 36,000 damage. But with Feast of Light ×4, I'm doing over 58,000 damage, which was exactly a 60% increase. Now keep in mind, Bottom Tree Golden Gun, your precision shots increase in damage as you hit them in succession. So with Feast of Light ×4 and hitting all 3 Golden Gun precision shots, I did almost 256,000 damage to Callie here. When I hit her with my Celestial Nighthawk, I only did 230,000. So hitting all 3 precision shots with 4 stacks of Feast of Light will out-damage Celestial Nighthawk. Yes, that's insane. Now, obviously, you can't miss any of your 3 shots, but in the presence of a divinity, this becomes really easy to hit. Plus, you have to consider Nighthawk does nothing to help boost your super faster, nor does it give you an overshield or a burst of healing. The only benefit Nighthawk has over this exotic is that you need to fire 1 shot and thus can get back to shooting your weapon sooner. But if you hit your 3 shots without Nighthawk in quick succession, it really isn't that much difference in time. Ultimately, it's risk versus reward. Note that while I focused on Golden Gun for this example, this buff also works on all Hunter supers, so it will boost your tether potency as well and allow you to debuff enemies more than just your base tether. However, the debuff is only increased for you, because you're the one with Feast of Light. So your teammates do not get any additional support from this exotic. They will get the standard 30 or 35% debuff that Tether provides them. But in my opinion, with the numerous nerfs to Orpheus rigs, it does become a very solid option for Void Hunters as well. All in all, each of these new exotics is surprisingly good and have a lot of great benefits for both PvE and PvP situations, as I explained. Go out there and get them and try them out for yourself. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of them, which one's the best. Thanks for watching, guys. Come check out some of these other videos we put out recently, and always, best of luck and take care.